Hello again, YouTube. Jake here with more reading too much into things. Thankfully, I'm over my cold so we can dive right back in with some good old Toku. And then we'll have to watch Ghost. Last we left off with Jyuohger's the team, Juman, trapped on Earth living with a really nice human, had just de-brainwashed Misao, aka Jyuo the World, into being part of their team. Let's see how that works out for the team in Jyuohger's episode 21, Prison Break. Prison Break. Ah, right. Now here's a punchline. Misao's here to hand out the little Juman stuffies he made last episode, and I would not say no to a set of them myself. And is introduced to Mario as Yamato's friend. Oh dear, he said the friend word. But it seems Tusk actually wants to talk. Meanwhile, in space, Genis wishes for the blood game to continue, despite the loss of the world. And so Cubehead steps up, with a prisoner-themed player. Back at Mario's, Tusk begins questioning Misao on all the items he uses as the world. But, not surprisingly if you ask me, he has no real information. And thus feels like a failure. Yes it is. And player sense. Now for an updated version of the opening, now with Crunchy the World bits. We cut from that to the prison player attacking citizens by catching them with leg irons, which drags them into an underground jail. Also, Misao is still down in the dumps, as you can see in these clips. Also, we learn that Anmu can bite through her mask. Odd. However, since Misao is still sulking, he and Tusk end up caught and dragged under, the player disappearing into the ground as well. Feeling his staying around doing nothing was what dragged him and Tusk down, Misao proceeds to sit around and do nothing. When his capture is seen by Genis back in space, he says, having no interest in him anymore, to give the world a humiliating end. Tusk, not stuck in despair, starts exploring for a way out, but is met with moebas. And why does he still have his equipment? Even more surprising, Anmu's sense of taste comes into play in this episode, cluing them into the prison being near the sea. Man, now that they know it's near the sea, they are set. I mean, how much of Japan could possibly be around the sea? Tusk finds the exit, only to also find the player, as you'd expect. The fight does not go well, but the rumbling does get Misao up and moving. And of course, ignoring the cube on the ceiling, Misao blames himself for not acting earlier. So when Tusk snaps at Misao, we get a flashback of just how Tusk has always had to stick up his butt around everyone. I do. Not so much on Leo's sleeping habit, admittedly, but he's completely wrong about snapping at Anmu over a ribbon on her spear. It doesn't affect how the spear is used, and it makes the one using the spear happier. There's nothing wrong with one wanting to make their weapon cute. Pink is not the problem here, people. Oh dear, his hallucinations are still around. That's just what this scene needs. I mean, it's not even like they're trying to be id, ego, and super ego. It's just abrasive wolf, excitable croc, and correct rhino. However, they are attacked by more moebas, and we see that Misao can transform to any of his three forms right off the bat. Outside the cave, the others find the player and engage him. Meanwhile, what with the leg irons, Misao's fight isn't going too well. However, after a show of force, the cube above them awakens as a bat. And it somehow bites through the chains that the cube sabers couldn't. It's also able to blast open the sealed off cave, allowing them to let the other prisoners escape as well as join up with the rest of the team. And we get something Ghost just won't give us. A character-specific tune for this fight as Misao's character grows, giving us a dramatic auditory sense of said growth. And really, once the rest of the team joins in, the player has no real chance. Topped off by Misao topping himself on to Tusk.
Oh dear. I can hear shippers in the distance. Toot, toot.
As they get a special finisher all to themselves. As you might expect, he doesn't have much of a chance against 3 Megazords at once either. However, the player does have one trick up his sleeves as he locks the Megazords in place. Good thing they just got that new cube animal who can break them out, am I right? Also, how is the Kuma cube not a cube panda anymore? And so the cube bat becomes a new equip for Tosai Jyuohger, specifically a boomerang, giving him a new finisher. And so our episode ends with Misao now being Tusk's limiter for snapping at people. Oh, hey, Misao's also already in the ED, along with the second verse of the song. Good for him. Less good is even more proof in this second verse that they will likely ignore the rest of the team and not give them their own secondary forms. I'm still not crazy about the direction they decided to take Misao after he finally joined the team. I say finally, 3 episodes. Still, I did get some laughs from this episode despite that, though I do feel guilty doing so. I don't like laughing when the joke is, haha, look at how awkward and stupid that one guy is, let's make fun of them specifically. But they are taking it to such a far and away extreme that it is kind of comical. Add to it using that as another focal point for where Tusk can be the punchline of the gag for being too serious, and the fact that I can be made to laugh fairly easily. Now, let's turn to the all too laughable Kamen Rider Ghost. Last time we've had a Freaky Friday body swap story, along with the rarely used well daughter angry at busy cop dad setup. Add in that clearly the fathers actually ended up in a fused Gon Miser's body as opposed to being in the daughter's body, which has the Gon Miser in it. And well, I'd be amazed that didn't give me a cold to start with. Takaru has 20 days left as we enter episode 40, Yuki, Hisao na Ketsudan, Courage, a heroic decision. And again we start with the recap first as our show starts in the Gamma world. Arya's human body waking up in her cell. Okay, gonna have to pause it here cause this brings to mind a point that bugs me. Why did Inspector's body wake up first thing after his Gamma icon was shattered? It took him like 4 episodes to wake up. Who knows how many days in Showtime because I'm not going to go back and recount. But near everyone else, when their icons get shattered, their little capsule thing seems to open like within minutes. Die Job, probably Papa Ganma, and now Arya, just, oh, the icon shattered. The only other example I can think of where it didn't open immediately was maybe Jyuohger? Also, and I should have brought this up earlier, when the whole plot point came up, why did Kanon need a wish to bring her back to life? She clearly wasn't actually dead. I am assuming the capsule we saw when in the Gamma world, the empty one that was right next to Spectre's, was meant to be Kanon's. We see that she was basically trapped in the Gamma icon form, unable to create a body around it to walk around. But that was it. If that's the case, and the capsules are not 99 days or you're done forever, because we know they aren't, given how long Daijob and everyone else were in there, and they came out worn out, mind, but fine, then there was no need to waste Takeru's wish on bringing Kanon back, since there wasn't a time limit. And we know there isn't a wish limit because they keep on scattering and they keep on bringing them back together because you have to, because he's a Kamen Rider and you can't have him lose a form. I mean, that wouldn't be sellable. Yes, then if you use the wish to bring back Takeru and then the God Misers woke up so you weren't able to make a wish to fix Kanon's icon issue, you'd have to face the God Misers or go into the Gamma world to rescue her yourself, and then you could have Spectre's icon get destroyed while rescuing Kanon from her capsule, so that you'd have another reason to go back in, and you can still have the same development for Daijob, I mean. It's getting harder to say Daijob than Alan, so I think I'm going to swap to Alan for next episode. And we'd skip those episodes where Kanon's only defining feature is saying Oni-sama or Alan-sama. Because let's face it, that is Kanon's only defining feature in these episodes. Them being a creepy cosplay harem for Spectre in the dream world, and I'm still not over that! I mean, was her capsule not working right? Is that the whole thing? Is the reason she was trapped in the icon some sign that, oh no, her life's in danger? Granted, things do happen off screen when we're not looking. That's a part of fiction that a lot of writers forget. Problem is, we the viewers, why'd I go with reviewers first? We the viewers won't know what happened off screen if we're not privy to it. If we don't see it happening or be told it's happening, we don't know that happened. Not even 10 seconds into this episode proper, I've already written half of what I did for Jyuohger's. I swear, this show. Anyways, and at once she's surrounded by Gruntmas. Then over to Dad, clearly trapped in God Miser, remembering how things fell apart last episode. We jump next to the police department, where the partner and Mayu's body are. Oh, what a shocker! Igor's still not fully dead. Wow, look how shocked I am. I am so shocked. Wow. Almost as shocked as, despite her saying she would do so last episode, we find Mayu at the temple saying she'll expose her dad's crime that do not actually exist. I'm trying to give a damn about this storyline, but it's hard. And I can't tell if it's hard because I've seen too many storylines like this, or if this one's just done so poorly. Anyways, talk about family and such forces Daijob to have a movie tie-in flashback to other brother not so dead. Point is, people with dead dads lecturing the idiot child about her wanting a different dad. And Spectre's movie tie-in daddy issues ruined the moment. And Sage has a movie tie-in flashback, lightly confirming him as a Ganma world resident, as well as possibly killing Spectre's dad. Back in the Ganma world, Arya is brought before Two Feathers, who for some reason doesn't kill his sister, who has shown herself to be an enemy to him. Okay, sure. We jump to Mayu convincing her dad's partner that she is Mayu trapped in her dad's body, which, after seeing the Ganmizer last episode, partner is willing to buy. With the new lead, the partner heads off to try and find Mayu's dad in Mayu's body, telling Mayu in the dad body to find a place to rest. The partner, having come to the spot, finds that he's followed by Mayu's body, and how could anyone not realize that it's not the dad inside the body? Seriously! There are few humans who talk like that, and what little we've seen of the father, we know he doesn't, so his longtime partner should know that too. This is so forced! I'm sorry, could your papa shoot out purple energy waves before today? Or is this a trick your body could always do and you didn't want to bring it up till now? God, this seems so forced. And no, I will not buy that they didn't see the purple energy wave solely because they were off screen when it happened, because the next cut, they are on screen and close enough to be in danger of being attacked themselves. So yeah, once Takaru gets hit by the wave, then they wonder what's happening, only for the Ganmizer body to show up and draw their attention away. But thankfully, Akari is allowed to be smart and realize what had happened once the Ganmizer calls out for Mayu. And then, out of nowhere, Takaru shooting the Ganmizer in the chest reshuffles the souls back into place. How helpful. So yeah, Dad rushes off, now back in his body, to do what only he can, and the Ganmizer disappears. After Akari explains everything, we jump to the cop dad having tracked down his partner, who he reveals is the real culprit in the leak. This is supposed to be really dramatic because Mayu had suggested this episode and the last, her preference for the partner as a dad as opposed to her own. I'll say this though, him being the informant explains why he didn't instantly chase after the criminal when he showed up. And yet, the daughter is still a moron, complaining about how the father must like that he had to catch his own partner and arrest him. At which point, I would be headbutting sense into her. No cop would ever be happy to have to arrest their partner. Blah blah blah, Takaru's speech, and he's pulled into the Billy the Kid icon. Because shot by a friend story. And the fused Ganmizer reappears to steal away the dad to analyze him. And so our three riders engage the Ganmizer in its first real fight when you think about it. And somehow Billy the Kid knows how to deal with the Ganmizer to release the dad, Houdini and Musashi helping by occupying the blade. And it works. And cause otherwise the Ganmizer wouldn't actually be fully destroyed, he switches to Mugen, which Takaru had used before to shoot the dad out, so why did he need to use Billy the Kid? Well, at least that's two more Ganmizers down. And so our episode ends with, well, the best I can describe it as is a daughter being tsundere to her father. Hold it back, chick. Hold back the bile. That's... just hold it back. Just tamp it down. Tamp it down. I mean, all that's missing is her saying, it's not like I care about him, or something. And, of course, Spectre has to make it about his dad issues that only exist now, and won't be resolved in the show itself. Yeah, that was about as bad and forced as I expected the storyline to be. I hate body swap stories, and I hate Dad because he's never around because he's a busy cop stories, because they are so rarely done well. And when they are done bad, they are tacky and forced, reducing characters' intelligence to the point where they're unable to recognize other people as human beings. This is why the busy cop dad and angry daughter stories are usually kept for very small daughters, not high schoolers. Also, how childish is this daughter? She's in high school and still calls her dad Papa? Not Tosan or anything else, or even, here's an idea. As a sign of how distant she feels to her father, she refers to him by his name. And then, at the end, when she calls him Papa, it's a sign of their relationship coming back together. But no, that would be competent writing. Oh well. At least those episodes are behind us now. Thank you again for watching Reading Too Much Into Things. I'm Jake, and hopefully next week's episode will be focused on the episodes themselves and less on me yelling at them. And as always, stay safe.